Hello everyone. First of all, thank you so much for taking the time to check out this package and purchase it. It really means a lot that you're supporting the work that I'm doing here. What I wanted to do since you purchased this is give you a quick walkthrough as to how to install everything and how to get the most use out of this tool here. So you may have noticed once you purchase the package, you have all these downloads and a how to install document. I try to make this as straightforward as possible, but me personally, I always like having a video to sort of accompany this stuff. So let's just go over how to set everything up and then how to run through an example of how to use it. So the first thing that we want to do is navigate to where we're actually going to put all of these things. The easiest way to do that is if you've imported something into Painter previously, say you got my sticker creator here, or any smart material or anything like that, you can right click it and go to show in Explorer, and that's going to take us right to the file location that we want to be in. And if you can't find it that way, it's just users, whatever account you're on, documents, Adobe, Substance Painter, assets, and then the corresponding folder. So we're going to want to drag the SPSM, which in this case is going to be this one here, into Smart Materials. We also have a templates folder. I actually didn't have one at the time of making this, so you might need to create one yourself, and Substance Painter is going to know how to read that. That's where I put the RGBA mask creation.spt. This is going to be our template for when we start importing things, and it's going to set up the channels we want them to be set up as. And then, of course, we have the export options, which would be export presets, which is the RGBA masks and RGBA masks.spexp. So once you have all that set up, we can go ahead and start a new scene. So file new. You'll notice in your template options, you will have the option to add in RGBA mask creation into your template setting. That's what we're going to want. It's going to be adding in our channels here. From there, you can just choose whatever model you like. I'm just going to use this Zero Sword since it's been a very good example for a lot of other things. Give that a second to load in. It is Nanite Geo, so it's a little bit slower than probably a lot of other things, but it's definitely going to get the job done. And from here, just for an example, I'm going to quickly bake some stuff out. This is going to be super low res. It's not going to be pretty, but let's just go ahead and do a 512 bake on all this stuff. So super simple. From here, the second part of this package is the smart material, which is where you're going to be doing all of your work for this kind of setup. We can go ahead and drag this right on. Very simple, very easy to read, sort of color-coded. And the way this is going to work is if you want value in your red channel, green channel, blue channel, or alpha channel, you're just going to paint it directly into the mask. So you can either right-click and add a paint layer, fill, generator. I think visually the best examples is probably just going to be if I add a bunch of smart materials to this stuff. Once again, I'm not going to make this look super pretty, but I think you'll be able to get an idea. And what's another good one? Nothing too overpowering. Sure. So yeah, you can go ahead and adjust these as much as you need to. You can always, just like any other mask, go in there and paint as much as you want or take away or whatever. Just make sure you're only affecting the mask and don't change this bottom layer here. And all that's really going on is we have a custom channel, which is associated with the corresponding value and then a color that's representing that. So once we're happy with what we have here, we can export it, but one quick thing to note, just to make things working a little bit easier, visually, this could be very muddy and hard to sort of understand. You always have the option to go up here and look at just the R values or just the B values or something, so nothing else is affecting it, and you don't have to always be turning off layers. So this is how I usually work when using a setup like this, just something to keep in mind for sure. There we go. So yeah, and then even if you're in this mode, just base color is probably better because we're not using any other values anyways. But anyways, from there we can go and export. So Control-Shift-E, or we can go to File, Export. And we will have two different templates here for exporting. We have RGB and RGBA masks. This is just depending on if you want to have this alpha channel. Sometimes you only want to have the RGB, but sometimes you need all four. So this is depending on what you're working with. Choose whatever you have. And then if we look at our output templates, what it's going to be doing is T underscore our texture set name underscore RGBA. That's going to be the name of our file that we export. So if you want to adjust this, depending on the project you're on, feel free to do so. But I think this is pretty standard for a lot of things, pretty good default. And then change things to however you want. I don't know, Targa, whatever, 2K, sure. And then export it where you want to be. signature. Maybe in this case, just so I can really quickly look at it, I'll just do a PNG, hit export, perfect. And then here we go. We have the mask that we just generated with alpha. So it might be a little bit hard to read in this case, but it's completely just reflecting exactly what we have here. It's a lot more alpha information than we probably need. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys find this really useful. This is the kind of stuff I would use on large assets. Anything that I can't fit into a 0-to-1, like a structure or a giant statue or anything like that. This is exactly what I would do. I would set up these masks and feed them into a corresponding shader in whatever engine I'm using. So hopefully you find this useful. Thanks again for checking it out, and hopefully look forward to more stuff in the future. So have a great day, everyone, and appreciate you purchasing this package. Bye.